Hi guys, it's Miss Madden here, and this is our very first ESOL Teleschool lesson. Yay! Well, I miss you guys so much, and I hope you all are doing well. Well, today we're going to talk about comparing and contrasting. Here we go. Let's get into our lesson. As I said, we're going to be comparing and contrasting informational text. What's our learning target? I can compare and contrast the most important details from two texts on the same topic. All right? Repeat after me. I can compare and contrast the most important details from two texts on the same topic. Good job. Let's look at our language target. I can explain similarities. Well, similarities are things that are the same or alike. And differences, meaning things that are not alike and that are different. Orally and in writing, using a word bank and graphic organizer for academic language support. Repeat after me. I can explain similarities and differences orally and in writing using a word bank and graphic organizer for academic language support. Good job. Let's look at our essential questions. How can using a graphic organizer to compare and contrast text or objects help me understand and comprehend information read or discussed? How do I use a word bank to explain similarities and differences? What standards will we address? Well, we're going to address ELA GSE 3RI9. This is our third grade standard. ELA GSE 4RI6. This is our fourth grade standard. And ELA GSE 5RI9, our fifth grade standard. All right, let's look at some key vocabulary. These are words that you will commonly see when you are comparing and contrasting. The first word, compare. Compare is to show how things are alike or the same. So, same, similarities, alike. These are words that mean the same or similar to compare. To means also. These are words that you will see when you're comparing, showing how things are alike. A Venn diagram is commonly used when we are comparing and contrasting. And we'll talk a little bit more about Venn diagrams and its meaning a little later on in our lesson. Contrast. Contrast means to show how things are not alike or how things are different. But, not, more or less. These are all words that are used when we are contrasting things or text. So you will commonly see these words when you are contrasting. Well, what does compare mean? Compare means to tell what is the same or alike about two or more things. So when you are comparing, you are showing how things are the same or alike. Let's look at these two things here. I have an orange and I have an apple. I want you to take a few seconds and I want you to brainstorm some things that show how the orange and the apple are alike. Take a few seconds to brainstorm. All right, how are they alike? Well, let's look at the orange first, and we're going to look at the apple next when we're comparing. First of all, we know that an orange is a fruit. We also know that an apple is a fruit. So that's how they are alike. They are both fruit. We also know that an orange can be eaten. Well, so can an apple. Well, that's how they are alike. They can both be eaten. We can look at the shape. The shape of the orange is round. It almost looks like a little circle there. Also, the apple is round. Well, this is how they are alike. They are both round. If we were to bite into an orange and bite into an apple, we can taste it. And we can taste that they both are sweet. Well, that's how they are alike. They both taste sweet. We also know that they both grow on trees. So all of these are things that shows how they are both alike. We have just compared the orange and the apple. Well, let's talk about contrast. Well, what does contrast mean? Contrast means to tell what is different about two or more things. Contrast, we want to show how things are different. That means they're not the same and they're not alike. We just compared the orange and the apple. We showed how they were alike or the same. Now, let's look at them and see how they are different. I want you to brainstorm. Look at them. Here are some clues or some hints to help you. You can show how their shapes are maybe different, their colors, their sizes. Those are ways or things that you can use to show how things are different. So brainstorm and see what you come up with. All right, how are they different? Well, let's look at the orange. We can look at its color. The orange is orange. The apple is red. Apples can also be green and yellow. So we have just contrasted or shown how their color is different. An orange is orange, an apple is red. We can also look at their physical appearance, the outside. The orange, it has a skin on it. We have to peel it off in order to eat it. The apple, it also has a skin on the outside or layer on the outside, but we can eat it. So this is how they're different. You have a peel. You have to peel an orange. You don't have to peel the skin of an apple. You can eat this. You cannot eat the skin. You can eat the skin of an apple. So these are all ways that these two things are different. We have just contrasted an orange and an apple. Here's that Venn diagram. Well, what is a Venn diagram? A Venn diagram is a graphic organizer that uses overlapping circles to show how things are alike and different. So look at the circles. Notice how the outside of the circles do not overlap. Only the inside of the circles overlap. Well, why do they overlap? Because when we're using this graphic organizer, this Venn diagram, we want to show how the two things that we are comparing are alike. So they overlap to show how they are alike. This is where we compare them. The outside of the circles do not overlap. This is how we show how they are different. This is where we contrast them. We compare, show how they are the same. We contrast and show how they are different. So the apple and the orange. Well, we're going to compare them first. We know that they're both fruit and they both can be found on trees. Let's contrast them. The color of the apple can be red, yellow, or green. The color of the orange can be orange. Something else that we could put is that an orange cannot tolerate the frost or cold weather, whereas an apple is dormant during cold season. It doesn't grow. And we can add the other things that we talked about earlier in this Venn diagram. So our Venn diagram is used to show how the things that we are comparing are alike and how they are different. Now we're going to take a break and look at a video here. This video is going to give us a little bit more information about comparing and contrasting. It's going to give you an example of how you can compare and contrast using a Venn diagram. Let's take a look.
Got a non-fiction throwdown tonight as the authors of 2 articles on the very same topic face eviction from The Story House. Join us on reality TV's only show filled with your favorite writers and characters. Welcome everyone to another edition of The Story House. I'm your host, Sophia Romero. We've seen a lot of fictional characters and writers on The Story House, but tonight we're all about non-fiction. 2 authors are facing possible eviction from the house. Both authors want to help you get better grades on your tests. Lynn Reddy wrote the article Ace That Exam, a guide to improving your performance on tests. She's up against Tipper Timerson, author of terrific test-taking tips.
Evicted? Me? Whatever could I have done? Look, before you vote, be sure to eat a well-balanced meal. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
There's just one tip I need to give people who are calling in to vote. The answer is vote her off, not me. That's it. Plain and simple. Easiest test there is.
Okay, let's bring in the professor to break down this matchup in a segment we call Compare and Contrast. Professor, how should voters choose between 2 writers whose work is about the very same topic?
That's a great question, Sophia. We're really going to look closely to compare and contrast these 2 articles. We know what's the same about these 2 articles, the topic of test taking. They both share the same goal of improving your test scores. But when we ask what's different about them, we see some really big differences. Each article makes a very different point. Reddy helps students prepare for an exam. She gives health tips and, overall, focuses on the student. Timerson takes a different approach. She provides question-answer strategies and, overall, focuses on the test.
Wow! So even though they're about the same topic, each makes a very different point.
That's right, Sophia.
Well, there you have it, folks. 2.
All right. All right, let's do a little review. So we know that compare means to tell how things are the same or alike. And contrast means to tell how things are different. So we're going to do a little practice. And we'll get back to, we'll do a little practice and do more with our lesson.